got to get it cleaned up. We got to get it fixed. So I think easily one of the most underrated trailers on the market is the travel trailer or the pop-up camper. This is something that we were able to get in fairly cheap. This was our first camper, our first introduction to the RV lifestyle. And what was great about it was that it's so light and mobile. It was made it very simple for us to get hooked up. We actually hooked it up to my wife's SUV, and we're easily able to tow it. Like I said, this is a great introduction to the RV lifestyle. We were able to pick this up on Craigslist for fairly cheap, without having to jump right into it. We actually didn't know what we were getting into. All we really knew was that we wanted to get into camping, and this was an avenue for that. This is our pop-up camper. It's a 1997 Coleman Taos.
Taos?
Taos. I don't know, Taos. As you can see, it's one of the basic models that you can get in the pop-up market. If we want, we can just go around and take a tour really quick. So from here in the front here, it does come with an extendable canopy that comes all the way out. It actually works fairly well when we were able to use it. It does have external outlets here. Coming around, you have a place that you can hook up and put your stove top from the inside to the outside, and then you have a place down here to hook up to the propane that's actually hooked up to the front. So just follow me. So down here we have a place for just a single battery and a single propane tank. This is where you hook up your city water. So anytime you're at a campground, it's access to water in the trailer itself. And there actually is a drain located at the bottom that just hooks onto a regular hose. Or more or less you can have it discard into your sewer at any campground. There is no tanks here in this camper. Like I said, it's just a basic model, so whatever you use from the sink directly comes out, so you'll make sure it's hooked up properly. Right here we have our connection to our 30 amp power. So we have power to the camper itself. So there's not really a lot when you get inside. Down here, right when you come in, there is quite a big storage area. Previously when we were using it, we actually converted it to a space where we put a little portable potty there. So that was nice. Coming over here, you do have a lot of storage here underneath your cabinet, your sink, and this whole thing folds down. And then on top of here, there's still storage on the bottom. So for how little this travel trailer is, there's just quite a lot of storage or places that you can store stuff. I mean, you would be surprised on how much stuff you can fit in here. The sink itself, when it does hook up to the city water, it does work pretty well. It does the stove top is just a basic stove top, nothing crazy or that. You do have the ability to take this off and hook it up outside, so that's kind of nice. We did most of our cooking and everything outdoors. From there, we have 2 lights. You'll find online that a lot of people tend to change those lights to LED bulbs to save power, but we never took it out dry camping, and we're really worried about trying to conserve the battery power, so we were always hooked up to electric at the campground itself. Both beds one is larger than the other, so you have kind of a master bed, and then you have your kids' bed. With us, we were a family of 3 with 2 dogs, and we were able to both sleep on the master side and then put our son in his playpen, pack and play over here on the other side, and the dogs on top of that. Your dinette, what?
We didn't put him on it, we just put him in here.
I go there, I go there.
Here's your shit.
Okay, I need to, I think it's hard.
Come in here. Just go sit over there.
Alright, because I have no idea what that looked like.
That's fine. Why don't you over here?
Okay, it's just that your thing is like really,
Is it recording now?
yeah, it's still recording.
So, even when you're inside, we have our dinette area. What's up, baby? Huh? You see, Mama? This itself folds. You can take the table out. We usually kept the table outside just because it takes up a lot of space, and there was no reason for us. We would never eat inside. We were always eating outside at the tables provided the campground, and we have a lot of fold-up tables. The couch itself folds into a bed, and then that's pretty much it. So let's talk about some of the pros and cons of having a pop-up camper. To start off with, one of the biggest pros, in my opinion, is that they're fairly inexpensive. You can purchase a pop-up camper roughly fairly cheap. You can find a used online for probably usually a good price. You just want to make sure that you go through it thoroughly before purchasing, just to make sure you're not missing anything. There can be a lot of things that could go wrong, such as leaks in the roof that you're not aware of, or just overall poor upkeep by the previous owner. Another great pro is that they're fairly lightweight. This exact model weighs less than 1,000 pounds, so pop-up campers can be towed behind small pickup trucks, small SUVs, and you really don't even notice that it's there. The only one issue is that since they're such a small trailer, they do not come with any type of brake system. Obviously, the bigger trailers you get, then they start to upgrade into electric brakes and whatnot. Some of the cons of having a pop-up camper is that you don't get the amenities that you would having a full-on travel trailer, obviously. It doesn't come with air conditioning. Well, this model doesn't come with air conditioning or heating. And you are more or less in a glorified tent, in my opinion. You don't really have any walls or insulation. Everything here is just, fabric to keep out the wind and the elements. They're not as comfortable as a travel trailer would be, but I think that's something that you can work on. When we were using this on a normal basis, we actually would put foam mattress pads on our beds underneath our sheets, and made it was night and day. We would actually not have this table up. We would actually put this table outside, so we had a little bit more space to move around. We have a electric heater that we kept in here. That way, if it got cold or anything, we could just plug in when we were staying at an RV campground. Another pro is that it has a small footprint, so we're able to store this camper in our driveway when it's fully closed up. Even when it's fully extended like it is, it's only roughly 17 feet long. So this allows you more access to a lot more campgrounds possibly than you would having a longer or larger travel trailer. Overall, for us, this was a great way for us to get into camping. We really wanted to get into camping, but we didn't want to take the plunge into spending a lot of money on a brand new travel trailer if it was something that we weren't going to like. We came across a great deal on Craigslist and picked it up. We were able to get it cleaned up, kind of remodel the inside, redo the inside with some fresh coats of paint. We refabricated the cushions, we cleaned everything up, we redid the floor. Nothing spectacular and nothing that really improves the function of the pop-up itself, but it was something that it just made us feel better when we would stay in it. We've taken it to multiple RV campgrounds that allow pop-up campers, which most do around where we live. We're able to hook it up to the water and electric itself, so we can have plenty of power when we need power to charge our phones, our devices and whatnot. It does have water to do dishes and different things like that. Most of the stuff that we do on the outside. So all of our grill, we prep food on the grill outside and whatnot. But we have the ability to take the stove top and actually put it outside and have more counter space in here. It doesn't come with a restroom facility, and we actually didn't think that would be such a bad thing when we originally purchased this pop-up camper. Now, other models, there's plenty of other models that do come with facilities in their trailer, but this model doesn't. This is just more or less your basic model. We ended up purchasing a portable potty that I ended up taking and putting into the storage over here on the side, and we would use it for waking up in the middle of the night. We didn't want to have to walk outside or walk to the restrooms or the facilities on the campground. It just made things nice, especially when Sammy was pregnant and she was just able to use the restroom whenever she needed to use the restroom. We didn't have to walk anywhere or walk outside. So we did put that in here. We have redone both sides of these beds. One is a queen size bed, the other is a little over a twin size bed. So they are comfortable and there's plenty of space. We've had two people sleep on this side, we've had two people sleep on that side, we've had two people sleep on this side, two people sleep on the couch here, we've had our dogs, we've had our children in their pack-in plays on this bed. I mean, we've put tons of people in this and have been comfortable. Yes, it was tight, but it was still fun. It was still a way for us to get out and get into the campground and escape our day-to-day, be able to explore what Mother Nature has to offer, and create those experiences that we're going to remember for our lifetimes.